Mama said I ain't right, got a bad streak a mile long.
Welcome back to Business Balls and Banter. It is the kids' first day back at school today. Woohoo!
Do you not think, like, as well, like, the fashion, like, that was one of the things that I always remember. Like, see, when you were we were talking there, and I was like, I remember going in with my fake, like, what are they called, Timberland boots, like, that I got out of shoe zone.
Did you have like bear goss and all that? Were you
No,
a pure bam?
I couldn't. My mum couldn't afford any of that when I was at school.
Neither can I.
If she could, would I have had it? Yep.
Were you a bam?
A total bam.
Nah, not really.
I think you would have been. I thought you were doing a popular girl.
No, I was the one that kind of spoke to everybody. Like, I wasn't one of the ones that was like, and then I think, like, I missed, it was 5th year, I think I'd left, like, I went to Florida, so it was like 2 weeks, and I came back and everything had changed, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to leave school. Like, I was like, everybody's left, everybody'd they'd went on to do various different things, and I went back, and I was like, where's my friends then? So it's just so, like, mental, but I used to remember the fashion choices, and I think that's the like, now when I look at Freya, like, I'm like, where's your ugly stage?
Oh, I know.
That's so true.
Like, where is it?
I know. I always remember were they Donny trainers? Remember them with the big massive like tongues?
Donny. Even now when people wear Donny socks, I'm like, oh gosh.
I know.
No, it was like the makeup. See, when you first discover makeup, fuck me, it was like pink eyeshadow. I had this like wee ladybird of like pink glittery eyeshadow.
Ladybird.
And it was like there and then there and then whatever my mum had, and my mum doesn't really wear makeup, and I was like, I have no idea what this is.
Well, see, even Hallie, she was going out like recently, and she'd done like this big white nose, like, so it must
What,
be, like,
highlighted it?
But I was like, whoa, you've forgot to rub that in. She's like, no, that's the fashion. I was like, no,
Don't tell me that
is
I'll do
in.
that. You'll see me in the
Your
next
next
podcast.
podcast.
Like, white nose, like, what's going on?
I was like a total tomboy for like most of school, so I probably didn't really
I
start.
was an emo, like I was definitely.
Yeah, I was totally emo, but probably not till like 4th year I would start wearing skirts and be more emo, girly emo.
I used to draw like a wee black star at the side of my face.
Oh
every
my
day.
gosh.
Like, it was actually quite funny because like Hallie and Jess, I look at photos of me when I was younger, and they're like, Mum, like, you're so emo.
Do you know what, that actually reminds me of when we first met. Like, I was probably more emo than you were then when we
Yeah.
first met on.
We should really tell how we first met. So
Like, I don't know if we've told you this though.
No.
have we? So obviously me and Emma both grew up in East Kilbride. Like, we went to different high schools. Emma went to Claremont and I went to St Andrews, but never knew each other, and then we met like on a bus in Gran Canaria because
while Kelly was waiting.
I was waiting.
And you thought to yourself then, me and her got to be friends.
She's my friend.
She's my friend.
I actually think it was because I had on like cool tights and I was pure emo and I had like a studded belt. Like,
No, I think so, while she was waiting, my aunt was like, "Oh, pet, I'll help you."
Oh,
and they
gosh.
like were pure helping you, like with everything. And then we ended up just hanging about that whole holiday.
Yeah.
Like, and then
And
we
that
came
was
back, and then we
Yeah.
never actually really hung out when we get back. We still like stayed in touch, but never really hung out. And then we both fell pregnant at the same time. We were like pregnant friends.
friends, best
I
friends.
know. And then it just actually kind of can't get rid of each other then. So
But it is funny when you think like we literally lived 5 minutes from each other and we met in Gran Canaria.
That is so
waiting.
weird, isn't
And that's
it?
still me on a bus waiting.
I know she's still at that now. Like anywhere we go, she's still.
And he's sitting in the
waiting.
front.
I know. Actually, we get in my car, and, like if Kelly's there, my kids will automatically say, "Oh, you sitting in the back, Mum, because Auntie Kelly's here." I just get chucked in the back.
It's quite funny when you think about how we actually met, and I was spewing on a bus and like to where we are now, like in our mid to late 30s, and how we went not the same path but similar. Like, we got married young, we decided to have kids young. Like, I was 24 when I had Samuel, and that was planned. Like, people are quite shocked about that. What about you? You were the same?
24 when I had Hallie, and I was 22 when I got married.
Oh,
Which is
I was
so
23 when I got
young.
married, so-
Like, if you think about like nowadays, how old would you?
So I was 21 when I had Freya and 23 when I had my son. And I think that is absolutely mental now.
oh yeah.
Oh, totally.
Like, you getting married at 22. And by the way, can I just say, and being still married, like,
15 years this year.
where's the trophy?
I was going to say go me, but it was really go Marty.
But that's like, now when you look at it, like, people are having kids older.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But I think as you get older, as women get older, our tolerance, I've asked friends who have like younger kids now, but your tolerance is like less. I don't know if I was just in like a deer in the headlights for about 10 years.
Would you change it? Like, I think about this like often, like 'cause most of my friends are just having their kids now, whereas like my kids are now at a stage where the oldest, I could leave her in the house with her cousins and stuff. Like, and I often think, would I've changed it in while I was like young and not got aches in my body and stuff, like travel like more? But I don't actually think I would change it. Like, I really like now that I'm going to be quite a young mum. I like to class myself as a cool mum. Kids
Yeah,
don't think so at
no.
all. But I like how, like, I always think, oh, well, when Hallie's 18 or 16, whenever I let her drink, that I could go to the pub with her and stuff and I'll still be cool enough to, like, go. So I quite like that idea. But I think most of my friends now who are just, like, 35 or, like, my best friend's pregnant at the moment, like, I'm like, that's... like seems like I'm just so glad that I don't have that.
Yeah, because I've like obviously you've sat and worked out what ages they're going to be. Well, you can go out with them. I've done the exact same thing. So
Yeah.
like when I'm 40, Freya's got to be 19. With Ashton will be 17. Like, and I keep like saying to them, I was like, there's going to be one day, guys, where I've done all my running about after you, because I became a single mum at 24.
Right,
So at 24, I had 2 kids and trying to like find a career.
Yeah.
And you're in the middle of all of it, like you're dealing with all of these things, and I'm like, you're going to phone me on a Friday and I'm going to be like, oh sorry, I've just fucked off to Rome for the weekend, like fend for yourselves.
Yeah.
And it's not that far away, it's like
I
4
know.
years.
Yeah, that's a good age.
I know.
I've been wishing their lives out. Yeah, I can't wait till I can fuck off to Rome.
You don't want to go to the pub with them, do it?
Hey, well, you can do that anyway.
I
You
know,
can
I've
just
got
like
really
go
good
on holidays
babysitters.
anyway. I think like, I don't know, sometimes I think though that I would be more patient if I became a parent now.
Yeah, I do think
And
that as well.
I think that when I was like, I obviously chose to have the kids young, but when I did have them, it was very much like a worry, and you listened to everything that
Yeah.
everybody said. Like, you were so influenced by other people and what you thought was the right thing to do. Whereas now I think I would be like, no, like chill, a bit more relaxed with them, a bit like less expectations. I think when I was younger, I thought kids have to do this and they have to behave and they have to sit nice and they have to.
By the textbook.
And actually,
everything.
I'm like, do you know what? They're just wee people. Like, so now I think, oh, if I was a parent now, it would be a different outlook. But then talking about that, I just do also think, like, oh, when I'm in, like, well, obviously, me and Craig were together for a long time as well. Like, we'd have been 14 years married this year,
Yeah.
but we've now split up. Like, very amicable. He's like the nicest guy in the world, but we've just grew
Yes.
apart. Like, I was always like, he is.
I'm
He
totally
is.
Team Craig. No, I'm kidding on.
Team Craig, thanks, Emma. No, he is like the loveliest guy, but we have just grew apart because we
Yeah.
did, like, the people that we were then is not the same as now. Like, I'm a completely different person.
Yeah.
So like, again, it's part of the journey, isn't it, that we're on? And I'm now just becoming a single parent, and I've bought my own house, and like, I'm quite excited about all that. Like, when
Yeah.
I'm going to be standing in my own house on my own, like with the boys, and think, I've got here and I've done this. And would I have been able to be in the same journey if things hadn't happened the way they did? I don't know. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I think there's different ways to look at it. Like,
Yeah.
I think when you go into that, because I can obviously relate to the single mum part,
Yeah.
but see when you're standing in that house with your keys and you've
Yeah.
done that, you'll never forget that. And it also drives something in you. And you'll be the same as well, because I'm not saying it's just about single mums, but where it goes, right, I need to show them now.
Yeah.
And you showing them as your kids, where you're going, right, okay, you want to let them see the everything, because I started working at 11. My mum was a single mum with 4 kids. Like, we didn't have money or anything like that, so I was working like in the chippy. I worked in there for like 10 years, so working for me was always in the backbone. Like, I'll never not work, and I want them to have that
yeah.
and see that, like, they're seeing the long hours and everything else just the same for you.
I actually put a stats on my Instagram yesterday. I got it off of somebody else. It was something like 81% of young people couldn't name like a female entrepreneur. So that got me thinking. Like, I thought, right, out of my friends, the kids' parents, like friends' parents, could they? And I honestly couldn't think of one other person. And I was like, that's a shame, because you want them to be able to dream of being whatever they want to be. So like, Jessa wants to be a footballer and Hallie wants to be a vet. So footballer, yes, you can dream of that and hopefully see like she loves Kirsty Howitt from Rangers. She looks up to her, and Emma Lawton. So looking up to people like that, like, she thinks, right, there's a possibility, a career path there. But I was like, I don't want her just to be able to see she could be a footballer. She can own a football club if she wants to. She can be on the board, or if Hallie wants to own her own veterinary practice, she can. But I think being able to see women or see anything like just to be able to resonate, like I could be like that one day and be able to look up to it, I think is like super important.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think like they need to see it all. I think, and I could be wrong with it, but they need to see the ups and the downs and so that they, because you don't want them going into, if they're like, you're brilliant, you're starting your own business, and then what happens is they're like, well, I actually don't know, like I've not seen this before. Like the same way we use our own soundboard and our own counsel round about us, like to give us a guidance, is they need to have that as well. This is what you go, this is how you will feel.
Can I ask you a question? So see how you said, like, I'm the same as you. I started work when I was 11 as well. Like actually, it's so funny. Like, I've done things like jumbo sales. So I'll go around the doors collecting people's like tat and selling it. And we actually called ourselves the tidy jumblers because that's where we live. But it was like literally I would always do anything to make money. And then I got my first job when I worked in a cafe and just kind of worked my way up from there. But I feel like I had that in me because I had to work. Like I had to, if I went to school lunches at school, I had to work to go for school lunches. My school uniform, I had to buy them myself. So, but I think where I've maybe went wrong, and this is where I keep arguing myself in my head, is I've worked really, really hard to provide for my girls, but now am I spoiling them to the extent that they don't have that in them? Because Hallie is like, she leaves everything at her tail behind her. Like I'm not even going to try and sugarcoat it. She's a spoiled wee shite at times. Like, and I know she is. Like, so, and I'm like, have I created this because I'll just keep giving her stuff because I give her stuff because I never had it? And then I feel like, and I'm like, what's the right answer?
So I think yes and no, because I overcompensate as well. So but then there was times where I just couldn't, like, but before I went self-employed and owned my own business, like I was working for somebody else, but I was doing mental hours on my own. Like I do all the football myself as well, so there's no other support there. And I would have to have, like, I'd be up in the morning, like the dinner would be in the slow cooker. And I know this used to make me go, oh my God, it was these wee things. But like Freya at that point, they know how to do the washing, they know how to, like, she was serving their dinner. Because I had no time.
Maybe she can make peas, that's really about it.
But then I think as I've became more available and I am unavailable and available at the same time, that has changed. Where there's less expectation for her to do it.
Do you spoil them more, do you think, because you didn't have it? Or do you think that because what I'm trying to get the balance between is I want Hallie to, because I didn't get the stuff, I want to give her stuff, but I don't want her to not appreciate things, or I want her to still have that drive that I had. But then I keep thinking, is she going to have that if I keep giving her stuff?
Yeah.
I think that's a really hard balance though. Like, obviously again, my circumstances are different. Like, I don't have a business, but like everything you do when you're a parent is because you want to be able to provide a better life for your kids, and you want your kids to have a better life than you. Like, so when mine are kind of like, when mine even look at like other people, other friends that have maybe got bigger houses, have got nicer cars, have got fancier holidays, and they'll say, I want to do that. Or more recently, like Samuel will say he only wants to go to football when it's hospitality, and I'm like, that's not the life that mum can provide. You've had that opportunity, but if you want that life, you need to work really hard for that. Like, and you do want to provide for them. But like you guys, I was working from 11. Like, I grew up with two parents that were disabled. I had a paper round at 11. And it was ingrained in me that you work, and it was ingrained in me that if you're not well, you'll go to your work and they'll tell you you're not well. So like, I still, even though you're my best friend, if I wasn't well and I woke up saying I wasn't well, I would still have that like kind of nervous tummy.
You still even
like,
phone me when you're like 5 minutes late. Oh my God, Sam, I'm so sorry, I'm 5 minutes late. I'm like, shut up.
Because that's ingrained in me. Like, my parents are like, no, that's not how that works. Like, you will get up and you will go and show. If you're not well, you'll get sent home. Like, if you don't be late, you don't like. Well,
that's something else we were talking about as well. Like, the mentality, I think, of the younger generation now can be quite blasé with stuff like that. Like, as in, like, they don't have that same work ethic, or they have quite a lot of an entitled, like, like, what's it called, an entitled stance or whatever on things. And I think that is, from talking to a lot of other business owners that are way further on than me in their journey, they're finding recruitment really, really hard because of a generational thing of like, we can't find staff that don't phone in sick all the time, that don't turn up late, they don't understand what hard work is. Like, and I'm not, like, I am the worst example of a good work-life balance. Like, I know I am, and I would never expect any of my staff to work the same amount of hours that I do. And one day, hopefully I won't need to work as many hours, but I literally work like 18 hours a day. Like, I work the weekends. I just don't get how, like, especially because ours is a lot of like kind of bonus driven as well. Like, I don't get how somebody can't be like, oh my gosh, I want to earn more money, or I want to do better. Like, for me, even, it was never about money. When I worked in HSBC, I was the top performer for, I think it was 5 years, maybe 4 years in a row. And my bonus was decent, but it was never about that. It was, somebody could have gave me a card saying, well done, you were the best. And I would have still performed the exact same. So I just wanted to be the best. Like, but I just don't get how there's so many people nowadays that I don't seem to have that. Like, and see if there was somebody that had that, like, that's what I would be looking for to take people on. As I was saying about not having experience and stuff, that's like to me, just being able to have somebody that's that like proper drive. Like, I want to go out at the age of 11 and work. I want to make money. I want to better myself. Because the best job I ever had that taught me all my good skills was in the coffee shop. Like, and it was like Katie and Jill were my managers at the time. I remember so well, they taught me my manners. They taught me how to upsell. They taught me how to have respect. All these really, really like key things that have brought me to be like a salesperson. That I moved on to like other stuff doing it, but that was like such a young age doing that. But if I had even phoned in sick there, if I'd slacked off, like, they were super strict on me, but I'm so glad they done it, because it gave me all like a really, really good starting ground.
Yeah,
definitely.
But I also think, and this is because we've all said the same thing, we all started at work at 11.
I know, which is
but where
strange.
can you get a job at 11?
Mine was a paper round, to be fair, but obviously people don't really...
They don't use really papers
know.
anymore.
But like, Samuel's been talking a lot about, like, my oldest, he's been talking a lot about wanting to earn money just now. So I think one of the sort of basic ways is to do more chores and stuff. But also, I think if I've been kind of trying to look into a wee bit of like giving Samuel, say, £100 and telling him to look into some sort of investment so that he can like track it himself. And because there's loads of things online that they can do nowadays. Obviously, like, that generation's all very much online.
Not gambling.
No, not gambling, but like investments.
I've
and
gambled
how
it. I put it into a horse.
Oh gosh, imagine. But obviously, like, you would want to give them that sort of backing and saying, like, really look into this, because this is your money, this is your starting. And
I gave her £50 to buy stuff to wash the cars. It's not even out the bag. Like, it's just sitting there.
So,
no, but like an online investment, like an investment where you can kind of track what your money's doing. And it's also educating them rather than doing, because again, I always think things like, do you know how kids do car washes, or they do it for like local football teams, like it's do to fundraise. I'm not having a kid drop a cloth and scratch my car. No. So sorry, I'll give you a £5, but you're not washing my car.
We'll see.
So I'm always like, no, thank
you.
you.
If you ask like, my group of friends that I was went to school with, it's so funny because I used to make them always stay overnight with me on a Saturday night, and I made them get up at 7 a.m. to do the paper run with me. And it was like, I know in fact, we're staying at Emma's, but we've got to get up, and I paid them by giving them an iron brew bottle. I kept the money.
20 pence. Was that an empty one?
No, it was, but it wasn't even the glass bottle. It was a wee tiny small bottle.
Oh my goodness.
So I was like, oh guys, sorry, Sunday morning you need to get up to the paper run, and then I would give them a bottle of iron brew, and I kept the money.
See, to be honest, one of my friends that I used to play football with, Cheryl, like, I seen her like maybe a year or so ago, and she like mentioned that. She says, I remember we used to stay at yours every Saturday, and you would make me go up and do the paper round in the morning. I was like, sorry.
I
definitely didn't pay her. Like,
no,
definitely didn't pay her.
At least I gave me an iron brew. Like.
Yeah, no, I don't think I gave anything, so I don't know why I even acted shocked when you said that, because I was just like, no.
But that is funny that we all, like, at that young age, like, so, like, that's where I'm thinking with the whole Hallie scenario, like. And to be fair to Hallie, she's actually asked that she'd done when we were on holiday just there, she'd done a CV. ChatGPT obviously done the CV for her, and she stood up and was like gave me a full while I should employ her. So I have said I'll take her on to do like wee admin tasks for me, like, which so it will give her. So she has, but Marty's like, Emma, she won't even last a month. Don't even bother setting up a bank account for her. Like, it's like, so we've got really a lot of faith in our children.
Oh god!
But like, we're going to give her a go and see, like, just to give her a wee task.
My boy was the opposite, because Ashton went out, and so he was doing car cleaning, set up his own Instagram page. Like, it was so cute, man. I could have eaten him. And then he was out labouring. He was out like cutting like he was literally weeding. I had him
Yeah.
on see the
Oh, we
app
really need a
Glassdoor.
weeder. Like, so if you want to come and do ours.
I know the one of these apps, and somebody was like, "Is anybody got a teenager? Like,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. That will do a wee bit of weeding." It was down like in the next village where we lived, and he literally got on. So I bought him the stuff to do the weeding, like black bags and like gardening gloves. And he got on the bus, organised with his wee pal to come and help him, and split the money. But they get 50 quid each.
Wow.
I was like, see if you were getting weed, like imagine getting 50
Yeah,
quid
yeah.
for that. Anyway, and she texts me, and I swear to God, like the text message was like, your boy was a wee dream, like couldn't believe that he was even there. They'd done such a good job. I'll get him back. And I was like,
Oh.
and then where Freya was in her bed that full day. Like, so it's like a combination. I don't think we'll know the answer to it until maybe like our girls are mums.
Yeah.
And they see the same thing or what they're going to do with their future. I think Freya's
Hallie
definitely...
just keeps telling me she just wants to marry a rich man, and I'm like, no, this is
This
not
is
what I'm
not
meant to
what-
be driving.
Uh-huh.
This is the opposite. Like, you don't need a rich man. Like,
You are the rich man.
See, Samuel's a bit different from that. Obviously, Matthew's a bit young, but Samuel is a bit like, what do they do? How do they earn that much money? What, like, how can I do that? Can I be like an engineer? Can I? Because he sees other people, and like, obviously, we've got friends that are really
is this
successful.
Matthew?
Samuel.
I was going to say, because Matthew has so many questions.
Oh gosh, I know. He's like, he sees like what other people have and how well other people have done, and he's like, how can I get there in life? Like, and I think that's quite good.
Yeah, that
but,
was really good.
hopefully he'll stick by that. Obviously, he's
Yeah.
just going into first year.
I
So.
think if they taught them in school, I think if I was given an idea of what people earned in school,
Yeah.
it would have changed probably what I'd done and
Yeah.
how
I
I stuck
totally
in.
agree. Well, see, even if I I failed standard grade maths, I dropped
Yeah.
out of uni because I hate doing presentations. But I get told like there's certain jobs that you should go into that make money. Now, before when I was self-employed and left, when I was employed before I started doing business, my salary before I left was like 100 grand. Like,
Brilliant.
so that's somebody that didn't go to uni, didn't have qualifications, but nobody gets told these sort of things. You get told you go and be like,
Go to
so
uni.
if you're a woman, go and be a teacher, or go and be like, or if you're a guy, go and be an
Yeah.
engineer. Like, but most guys want to be footballers. Like, but there should be a lot more. Like, this is the sort of stuff that's actually real life. Like,
Yeah.
even things
Yeah.
with property. Like, there's so much money that can be made in property if you like flip them and things like that. Like, I was out with a guy yesterday, and he's 29, and he's got in the space of 1 year, he's got himself £2 million worth of assets just by flipping them. He's like,
Yeah, it's amazing.
like construction type idea,
Yeah.
but he's just built all that himself at such a young age, and I'm like,
Brilliant.
that is actually unreal.
I think like, and that should be celebrated more, because I think when you're looking at it, like even for me, like obviously we're all in property, and everybody thinks like, especially for me, the staging side, that's also glamorous and everything else, but you're actually dealing with a lot of people's real problems,
Real
like what they're
life, yeah.
facing. Yeah, absolutely. And actually, estate agency is probably the lesser paid part of it. I just happen to really love being an estate agent, and in my vision for what I want to do in estate agency is completely different to what your mainstream is.
Yeah.
But on that, like we were talking about, I get a lot of messages on social media like, how do I get into estate agency? Like I just love it. I love everything about it, and I get that. But like when I started, it was $8,000 a year. Like I was an office junior. That was all it was. And then you really had to work. Like I was like 4 late nights, weekends, because estate agents were in branches. They opened it up like Monday, all through the week, and then they were open Saturdays and Sundays as well.
And it's the viewing for you. That's what I was like thinking.
Yeah.
Like, even when Vikki sold our house for us, and somebody like we done our viewings yourself, but if somebody wants to come out at like, I'll be there at 9, and somebody else says, if you're doing the viewings, you're having to go back and forward. You might
Yeah.
have one house in Skilbride, one house in
Yeah.
Glasgow, one house in North. It's a lot of travelling as
Yeah.
well. Like, and that's probably the unglamorous side of it that people don't see or think about. That I think is probably one of the hardest parts of your job.
Yeah. Well, I think I take on the client, like, and you'll know this from obviously me dealing with you, but like I feel responsible. So I'm like, all right, I need to get this sold. Like I'm
Yeah.
doing everything. Like the amount of times that where even just now you're looking at it going, well, this is the biggest asset that people own. And some people can look at it, like we've had this conversation where I've said to you, I love how you look at things because it's completely different to where I will do it. Like you're thinking like, oh, my house would make a great like HMO or and all that. Whereas actually I'm looking at it going, this is a great family house for somebody that's coming into it and various different things. And I think that's good. But the unglamorous side of it is, unfortunately, appointments tend to be out with working hours. And it tends to be like this week I've worked 3 late nights, I've juggled that in between doing the football runs and everything else. I sit by the training grounds with my laptop. And then Saturday, I'm having my first night out and I don't know, God knows how long.
Where are you going?
Where am I going?
Why are we
I
not
don't know.
invited? Just on that note.
My
you should have
other
missed it.
self-employed friends that I'm
Oh,
going out
right,
with.
okay.
And then I've got a viewing in Croft Abbey, like, which is like
What,
Stirling way.
next morning?
No, on Saturday.
What I thought I was like, oh, you're
But
gonna
it's
be
like the
hungover.
only time that this guy from London can come up and do
Yeah.
viewings.
Yeah,
And I'm
so you
like,
need
am I
to-
not going to say that I'm not available?
Yeah, of course.
Of course I'm going to go there. But yeah, the other side of it is there's no easy way in to state agency for
Yeah.
people that are leaving school. So for me, the vision that I have is to create that.
Academy.
Yes.
Well done.
If anybody else steals that, I will know because we've just mentioned it on the podcast.
She's
There's
coming
none.
after you.
I will be after you. Exactly that. Because
that's a
if
great
you
idea.
are, like my way in was an SVQ in like business and administration.
Yeah.
And every other time was like, right, how do I earn more money? And I'm commission based as well. Like, and I'm only get paid, and this is the thing, you only get paid when it settles. The same with you.
Definitely.
So for me, it's like, right, okay, well, I need to be on it and all over it. And I think everybody feels that when
Yeah.
they hire me for it. But the unglamorous side of it is you're taking on how people feel about their home as well. Like,
Yeah.
it's like separations and financial hardship, and you're like, oh God, I feel responsible. Like I'm going to do a good result.
One thing you said there, Vicky, you were like when you were at the side of the football pitch and you've got your laptop. So how do you manage that with
I
the
only
amount
do-
of football training, working?
So the laptop is out only at training the games I want to watch, right?
Yeah.
But I'll be so like the part with Freya, and especially during the summer holidays, like I do some amount of traveling, one for work, one for football, and I forgot about this, see, because there's so much of it. Like normally I'm like everything's booked in the diary, that's fine, and then there was this one game and I had to be in Stirling for like 10 o'clock, and of course they meet an hour and 15 minutes before it on this Friday, and I was like, oh God. So I had to message one of the mums. I was like, can you take Freya? I'm going to be there. But I had to reorganise my full Friday diary into Thursday, bar the exception of doing filming for one house. So I was over there at like 9 o'clock on Friday morning. Literally anybody, the heels, they were in the back of the car, the Uggs were off, heels on, video done, right, on the way to Stirling and everything else. By the side of the pitch, I'm organising viewings and I'm taking calls and I'm listening to clients and everything else. And I see it as a privilege. Everybody else will be like, oh, how can you not enjoy it? But I created this life to enjoy that.
Yeah,
And whether
yeah.
I have to answer a phone call or various, I'm still there
Yeah.
for Freya.
Yeah, definitely.
Or Ashton, wherever they need me. In the same way about training, they know that I always show up.
Yeah.
So I don't have to have them going, oh, where the fuck is my mum? Why there's been occasions where I forgot to
Yeah.
turn back up for them, but it's fine, I got them there.
See, on that note though, obviously I'm not self-employed. I work like with Emma, but she still does really push for that. Like, although you say you don't do like the work-life balance, like you do
I
still
don't
turn
do
up
it for
for your
myself,
kids.
but-
you do still turn up for your
Yeah.
kids' football and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I don't have the stress of saying I'm going to miss the nativity, I'm going to miss the football
Yeah.
games. I know on a Thursday I'll say to Emma, I need to scoot away half an hour early, and I don't feel anxious
Like,
about
oh,
that
I'm going to have
because
to
I
ask
don't
her.
think,
Emma's
I don't
very
think
much like,
any
no, that's what you
employee
will
should
do.
feel
Like,
like that. Like any boss should never, like your kid, the parents should, any of their staff should never miss things like that. Like people can give it back in time, like and give it back in so much more. Like I think when you give flexibility your staff, it's just so important.
My dream staff, like I've got Lindsay who's coming into like a self-employed role and wants to, so she's a nurse. She's like, I've just something I've always like been really interested in. She sat down in front of me and I was like, oh, you should be doing my job. Like
Yeah.
I was like, you, like everything about you, I love. But for her as well is coming in and learning from me and then being able to go out there and do that for herself, because I see so much of it where my ideal employee is somebody that is a mum or is a dad and understands that because I had to miss so much because I just had to work.
Yeah.
And it's not like I had somebody else to turn up my place. It was just me.
Yeah.
And
that's so true.
when you're doing all these different things, it's like giving somebody flexibility. Like, see, and I can see that with the two of you. Like, Emma lets you away half an hour early. You're going to come back and be like, right,
Yeah.
I'm here to fucking
100%. Like with the girls' games, like it's my most exciting part of the week, like for sure. Like so,
Aye.
and I know it sounds sad as if I've got the most boring life ever, but like see Saturday, Sunday, I'm like, yes, we've got like the football games, and like I love it. And like poor wee Hallie's still never scored a goal yet, but like, oh my goodness, she missed. That's the last two that Marty's, he's the coach, giving his own daughter the penalties, but they're just because the team really want her to score. But that's the last two. She's hit the post and all. So I'm at the side. Honestly, like my heart was beating so fast. Like I felt like so nervous. I'm sitting at the side, like filming, and then she missed it. And I was like, oh my goodness. But I hate, like, I would hate to miss any of the games unless there's something really, really like don't mind missing training or whatever. But the games, it's just so good for them to see, even they like having their support there. And
see, going back to you guys talking about jobs and stuff, and how people didn't really say this is how much you were there and doing this, and this is how much you were there and doing that. Seeing the fact that you guys have both got your own businesses, would you want your children to do that and do the 18-hour shifts that you've done and all the hard work that you have done? Part of me feels like I really want my kids to be driven. I really like that Samuel looks at things and goes, I want to earn enough money to do that. But actually, I want him to do something that he loves and that he enjoys and he's passionate about and actually is happy. Because see, if anything this year has taught me is money and materialistic things isn't everything. And yeah, absolutely makes a difference to your life. But it's the people around you. I know it sounds so cheesy. It's the people around you and what's inside your heart and what you feel passionate about and what you feel happy about. And that might be like the fact that like I've went through the hardest things ever, like, but I have had Emma in the office with me, like, and I've been able to work through that and go, it's fine because I'm here and I'm supported and been able to work through that. But yeah, like the whole thing of like you guys starting your own business and everything you've had to do and everything you've had to miss out on as a parent and all the late nights and early mornings you've had, like what would you want for your children?
I've thought that before as well, because I've thought, right, like when Ross Commercial Finance, when I don't work on it, like I would love one of the kids to take it over. I just hope by that stage that they wouldn't need to work as well, because it's built up enough. But would I want them? Because my Uncle Harry always says to me, like, you like work far too much, like, because this was actually a big thing for me. Like I used to be like the best friend to everyone. Like I was always the maid of honours. I was always the one that organised all the parties. I was always like the best auntie, the best like. What do I say? Best daughter. My mum and dad have only got one daughter, but I was like, I always felt like I was a really, really good to everyone. Over the last 4 years, I've been nothing short of shit. Like just so bad. Like I don't remember. Like it was my friend's wee boy was in for an operation the other day. I forgot to even text her, and that just annoyed me so much because I was like, that's just not a me thing to like forget. And I know that my mind's elsewhere all the time now, and it does annoy me. And I always I've got pure guilt, like whether it's mum guilt or whatever it is. So I don't know how much I would want that for the kids, and I think that's why like that I've constantly got this battle in my head. Like I know that I work so hard to try and provide that for the kids and hope that they don't have to do it, but then am I missing out because because I'm missing out that I don't go to events. The only reason I'll ever look at WhatsApp is somebody ats me, because if they don't at me, then I just flick by the chat. Like so I know I'm missing out on so much stuff, but I think in my head I'm doing it for the right reasons, and then I battle with myself about, am I doing this for the right, like is this going to benefit them, or do they see that and think, well, that's what you have to do to work hard? And I suppose like me and Marty have talked about this quite a lot like recently, because I do beat myself up about it. Like when our parents were younger, like my dad had like 3 jobs, my mum didn't work, his dad had 3 jobs and his mum didn't work, so like it was the dad that was out all the time, and I don't think you thought anything about it, like because the dad was out and that's what the dad done. Whereas I do think as a woman working a lot, I do get judged. Like I do think that even my own family, like you work too much. But I do actually think if it was Marty that was working that much, nobody would say anything. Like, oh, great man out providing for his family.
No, I agree with that 100%.
And I do think like, but I also think it's a bit of a one of these things. I work a lot with my laptop on, so we will sit and watch Love Island and I've got my laptop on, and the kids probably never rarely see me without my laptop attached to me. Like Marty will be driving, I've got my laptop in the passenger seat working, and they do rarely see me without that, but I always think I'm there. So an element of me, like Marty's like, yeah, you might come home at 6 o'clock and you might sit with your laptop on, but you'll put your laptop down to have dinner with us, and then you'll go back on, but you're there and you're present. Whereas if you were out on the rigs, for example, you might be away for 3 weeks at a time.
Yeah.
Or you might, if you've got a guy that's in construction, he might be out from like 9 a.m, not get back till late at night.
Yeah.
And that's like accepted.
And no
like,
one judges it.
And nobody judges it. And the fact that you're out, whereas at least I'm trying to say, because the girls, like, and I think they get, my own family, I think, are the worst for it, saying, oh, your mum works too much. So it's putting it in their head.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, oh, so-and-so says that you work too much. And then they'll start saying, but you work too much, or you work all the time. And I'm like, but I'm here. Like, I can see everything you're doing. I'm like present. But like, I do have these debates with myself all the time. Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Like, I think
is like, it would be good to like fast forward or see how we are going to be in like 4 years. Because I always want to be like, my main aim is, and I see other estate agents that are doing it and very successful. Like, see the amount of times that I see them on the golf course and all that, and I'm like, that what a luxury, right?
I'm going to take that up, by the way. We just moved into an estate, it's a golf course.
Oh,
you
I might take that up. I might, because all the surveyors take the other ones out. Like, oh,
I'm only doing it for business purposes.
But I always want to be and build it to the point where I then can, and I know like luxuries are stupid things to me. Like, they mean the most. So it's like, I remember like people at school and they would go away for the full summer holidays. Like, they would be away somewhere, and I'd be like, how they must be minted. But in actual fact, like, I probably wouldn't. I tell everybody this, I can't relax. Like, I even started this like Wim Hof breathing exercise like workshop, because I know I'll send you the link, right? And it was like this breathing thing, because like, see, when you, like, somebody says to me, what do you do to relax? I go to kids' football. Am I relaxed at the kids' football? Am I? Fuck, am I?
I don't like being relaxed. Being relaxed
neither
scares
do I.
me.
Somebody said that to me, like, do you think you've got a wee bit of ADHD? And I was like, probably. I
went to
my life.
I went to this sound bath thing, right? And it was like a women's finance retreat. And I'm sitting in this bath, and everyone's like pure like pure totally like chilled. And I'm like, the silence is pure freaking me out. Like, I keep like peeking round at everyone, and then all I can think about is, how many emails am I going back to?
That's exactly
like,
me.
I was like, but then see how the people that enjoy that, like sitting in their own head, that freaks me out, because my own head's a dangerous place to be. Like, I don't want to be there.
Mine does not stop.
I thrive on chaos.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And see, like, if I have, and exactly as you say, like, if I had to, I'd be like the doom. Because if I was in my own head or been able to actually process my own thoughts, I'd be like, fuck, my business is failing, like, it's not going to last, and all of these different things.
I just think of death all the time. As soon as I like go in my own head, I'm like, somebody's going to die.
She
is so morbid. However,
everything in my life relates back to death, and I have actually got a tattoo on me saying living is a problem because everything dies, which is a Biffy song. But like, my kids always say to me, why do you always relate everything back to death?
But you are like, sometimes I'm a bit like, you are a bit freaky things happening around you. Not death, but I'm always like, why? It's you, Emma. Why are these bad things happening?
So like, I went through like a period of like 3 years of my life where like just everyone I loved round about me like took not well, or something really bad happened to them. And she actually said to me, maybe that was your omen for your split.
Oh gosh, I know. My life's upside down right now because Emma.
She was like, is everyone that is round about you, something bad happens to them? I'm like, oh my goodness.
I know. Ends the podcast now.
Sorry, Vicky.
But I thought, like, so even from that, like, that's probably how I started. Like, when I went out, like, wasn't it? I was, like, I said this earlier, like, I was terrified, but I had this epiphany when I was just like, oh my God, I was driving home from my mum and dad's lodge, and I was like, I didn't want to go home. Like, I didn't want to go home and face like another week of chaos and everything else, because I'd actually managed to switch off at this point. And I was like, and I remember, like, my family's not been in exactly the same. Like, we've not been blessed with like good health. Like, none of us have been. So everything, there's always something. And I remember it was somebody close to me that said, people would die to have another day like you. So go and take the risks just now, and fucking worry about it later.
Yeah.
And so all the hard work now is to then go, right, okay, so we
I
can be 6 weeks in fucking summer holidays.
I know.
In fact, we'll not even have the kids, because they'll be older then.
I know. Freya can look after them. But no,
They'll
you
be in
too.
Italy or something.
but it is like that is so true. But like our best friend got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer like just
Yeah.
before Christmas, and it was horrific. And at the time I was to Marty like, that's it, like this is the biggest wake up call I needed. Like I'm not going to work as much. I need to put, because nobody knows what's around the corner. He's only 37. And I had this all in my head, and then within 2 weeks I'm back to working just as that same. And like he actually messaged me and he was like, oh good, so that worked well for you, Emma, didn't it? Like, because like, but that's where another battle in my head, because I think, right, I'll work as hard as I can now, try and build a team around about me, and then hopefully when I'm like 40, 45, I can take a back seat and I've built my wee mini empire. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or do I like just kind of have another broker that I know really well? He's got quite a cushy life. He's on the golf course like 3 days a week, and he I know that'll be me one day. He's on the golf course 3 days. He just does like deals when he wants to. Like, whereas I'm like, no, I want to do as much as I can now, and I want to be the best I can, and I want to like.
Yeah.
So that's one of these other battles in my head that always weigh up. Like, am I doing this the right way the now, and then hopefully it'll be better in the long run, or am I missing out on a lot the now that I could be doing because nobody knows what's around the corner?
That has been like, obviously, you know, it's like been another wake up call for me this year because my dad got cancer too. So, and I think in that whole transition of going, oh my goodness, like, is this the life for me? That these things do put life into perspective for you, and it does really make you evaluate. But I think that it's still a process of, is this right? Is it not? Is it right? Is it not? Like, it's just a pure constant up and down. And I do think it's a bit of a journey. And I think at some point on the journey, you'll just go, I might have not made the right decision, but I made that decision for that time. Like, and that's fine. Like, and I've learned from it. And I think that that's probably important. Like,
Like, I don't want to keep going on it because everybody is affected by cancer, but I was diagnosed with cervical when I was 27.
yeah.
See if you had met me at 27 versus like 35, nearly 36 in a couple of weeks, mid 30s. I am a completely different person, and I could have, and I don't want to be bad on this, right? But I could have felt sorry for myself.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I was very, very, very lucky. But instead, I just went, I'm not worrying about the small stuff now.
Yeah.
And like the other stuff is like, right, okay, the business side of it. See, for three years, maybe maybe 5, like a really tough times, as in you're the 12 hours, 16 hours and everything else. But we get it back at the other side. And I think you will. And I think, like, Kelly, I'm so excited for you because I think, like, we're going to have so much good stories for Kelly, aren't we?
I keep saying, like, we can't wait for the Tinder story.
The
And I'm
dramas.
obviously saying I'm not going on Tinder. Like,
Thinking, we'll go on it for you.
I really want to play
Like, put it
Tinder.
on the TV.
swipe right, swipe right. What is it? What way do you swipe actually?
Don't know.
Like left, swipe right.
But like all of these different things where it's so exciting to look at it and go, right, okay, the hardship, but what is 2 years going
And
like?
that's a good way that Vicky's looking at it, because it's like you do need to be excited for it, and you've obviously got over that, like what happened to you, and you could have went one or two ways with that, and that's probably, I would say, made you take more risks, because like you probably have thought, well, I've been given an opportunity to go and do this, which is obviously amazing.
I'm still very risk averse. Like, I speak to you and I'm like hyperventilating. Like, what you're doing? What?
Emma as well. But you've always been
But
that
I love
way.
that, and I wish I was more like it. So maybe my transition out of being less risk averse is like,
I'll just be in your ear.
But
like tattoo on my arse. Like,
but you've obviously become more.
Can I put a wee picture of me so you remember,
You've
like,
obviously
always think
become-
about me?
less risk averse because you have started your own business yet. You've done all this now, so you're, and I'm the same. I've now made huge changes in my life that I'm like, I never thought I would have ever.
That's episode 2 done. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe.
Or if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, then give us a 5-star review, please. Bye.
Bye.
I ain't right. Got a bad streak on my